Welcome back to JM Auto Repair, Russellville, Arkansas. What we have here is a 2006 Ford Taurus. The customer complaint on this vehicle is with the anti-theft. It's been to several shops and they cannot fix the problem. They replaced a lot of parts on this vehicle thinking it was going to fix the problem. Let me guys show you what they replaced so far in this vehicle. One of the shops, they replaced all these parts and they were thinking they were going to fix the problem. They put a PCM, the transceiver for the theft. They put a new ignition switch with 2 new keys, and they even programmed the keys to make sure. They were thinking that was going to be the problem, but it's not. My technician this morning started this vehicle, brought it inside the shop with no problems. The problem is randomly. It's not doing it all the time. It's intermittent problems, but it's related with the anti-theft. He actually pulled some of the codes out. Let me show you guys what he pulled. What kind of codes he pulled, okay? He pulled a B1600, B1601. Guys, codes doesn't mean anything, okay? It's just a direction where to go. When you get codes like this and you start reading about the codes, they tell you check this, check that, or they tell you replace PCM, replace the anti-theft. Don't get caught up on this, guys. Codes doesn't mean anything. It's just one direction where to go and how to check the problem on the vehicle. We scan the vehicle, we got these codes, and let me show you guys what it's doing. There's sometimes this car will start and sometimes the car will not start and the theft light will activate. See, there's nothing. Okay, the theft light is not flashing rapidly, but it's just flashing. But it's an anti-theft problem. Okay, let's try one more time. There we go. Car starts now. Turn it off. You let it sit here for, the customer said that if you let it sit there for an hour, but we let it sit here for maybe half an hour and the car will not start. Okay, now it's starting. What we're gonna do now to continue this diagnostic on this vehicle, we're gonna check our powers and grounds, okay? Let me guys show you what we're gonna be doing so far on this car. We're gonna look at the wiring schematics and find out if we got power to the PCM, and we're gonna check our grounds, okay? Because 90% of the problems in the vehicles, it's not a computer problem, okay? 90% of the problem, it could be corrosion, back connection, voltage drop, relay, fuses. Don't get caught up with those codes. Those codes doesn't mean anything. To me, those codes is more a direction where to go. It's all about you guys. Where do you want to check, whether you're going to check the powers and ground, because that's obviously most of the problem. 90%, that's the problem on all the vehicles, pretty much. Computer is the last thing you want to replace, but obviously you guys can see they replace PCM, transceiver, 2 keys, they program the car, and it's still, the car still has the problem. Let me guys show you. We're going to pull the wiring and schematic to find out where to go and check powers and ground, okay? We got Mitchell's, okay? It's a 2006. Ford Taurus. The repair. And go on the engine performance. Okay, what we're going to do, we can actually check the anti-theft, okay, the anti-theft circuit right here. We could do this, and we want to make sure, see, we got power here. There's a red, yellow. It's got power, okay, but I'm pretty sure they already checked the fuse, you know, but it's always good to check fuses, you know. That's one thing you want to do. But I will not concentrate on this power right here. I want to go on the PCM, because we're going to check powers and ground. Okay, this is page 1 through 4. Now, let me guys show you here. What you want to do is check, make sure the powers and grounds. We're getting power and we're getting a good ground on the computer. Right here, we don't have any power grounds on this side of the PCM. because there's several plugs on this PCM. Now the connection on this one, we do have 2 grounds, but I want to go back to the last page and find out what we have. Okay, let me bring this up. Alright guys, look at this. We got 1 power here, that's a pink blue. Alright, we have bingo, there we go. We got ignition power. We're going to check that one. We can check this power, this grounds are here too as well. But first of all, I'm going to concentrate on my powers. Power run star. I will probably concentrate on this one and ignition right here. Find out. Let's look at this real quick. 910. We'll flip the page. A10. So A and a 10. And 17. Okay, we'll go to the last page, the first page actually. And 17. Let's find out how the computer gets the feed, the 12 volts. Okay, look at this. There's a connection here. All right. Let's find out where this connection goes. And actually, there's a connection. There's several connections right here that goes back to the someplace else. But look, guys, there's a module here, and that's the intake manifold runner control module. We have the EGR vacuum regulator solenoid. What else do we have here? Okay, wow. It also powers the ignition coil. Okay. Ignition coil. Let's find out here. Wow, look at this. There's actually 2 relays here. Okay, and there's a connection here. And fuses. It's a fuel pump relay, and there's a PCM power relay. I will concentrate more on this one right here, the PCM relay. Okay. We can check both. It's always good to check both, but I want to. It's an anti-theft problem, so I want to make sure the computer is getting power. Okay, we got communication. It's not a communication problem because we got good communication. We can communicate with the module, but the light keeps flashing and flashing. So we're gonna check this powers and grounds at the computer, or we can even check right here the power on the relay. Make sure we have a good ground on that relay, and make sure the power's going to the PCM. We're gonna show you guys how to do this. There's different ways to check the powers and grounds on this vehicle. You can we know if you guys notice when we look at the schematics, there was a red wire to the coil that is connected with the PCM and other solenoids for one relay. Okay, we don't know which relay it is yet because we have to make sure we check which relay is the one for the PCM relay. So what we're gonna do is check the powers and ground of the computer. And how we're gonna do this is we're gonna connect. We can connect here, ignition on, key on, engine off. We should have 12 volts, constant 12 volt power right here. Okay. And at the PCM, we should see 12 volts. If we don't see 12 volts here, then we know there's a problem either on the relay itself, the fuse, or it could be also the ignition switch, but they're already replacing the ignition switch, trying to fix the problem. So I will suggest just make sure we check the power here first. Okay? Guys, don't get caught up on those codes, okay? Those codes doesn't mean anything. It's just a direction where to go and how to troubleshoot the problem on a vehicle with an anti-theft or any other problems that you have. Always check your powers and grounds because that's the first thing you want to do before you start throwing parts on the vehicle. do a good diagnostic on it, because that's what we want to do before you start spending money on parts, and the customer, you know, you're gonna make them spend money. So we're gonna have another video, a second part, and show you how to check the powers and grounds. And thanks for watching, guys. My name is Eric, JEM Auto Repair, Russellville, Arkansas. We'll see you next time.